What is up, everybody? So with the seasons coming, and you may be able to hear, but had some crud hit me the last couple days, so I thought it would be a good time to make a short video of training when you're sick. So it's starting to get colder here. It's kind of, they call it cold and flu season, but I have an opinion on that I won't get into currently. But anyway, it's the time of year when a lot of people start to get under the weather, be it sinus trouble, the flu, regular colds, you name it. You know, it's just the time of year where people are getting sick more than they do the rest of the year, and it can affect your training. So some of the things about training when you're sick, you're not going to feel like following your workout plan. You may not feel like getting in your calories. You may not feel like hydrating. It affects everything. You know, you're probably just gonna want to lay in the bed and do nothing. I know right now, you know, I'm not tired, but to be honest, you know, I just kind of want to go to bed. And that's just how it is when you're not feeling good. So some key points when you are sick: first and foremost, before anything else, you need to make sure that you rest. You know, when you're sick, it's your body telling you that something is wrong, and it does not like what is going on at the moment, and it's working overtime, and it's trying to push out the bad stuff that does not belong in your body. And the way that it does that is by you resting and allowing it to do its job. So before anything else, make sure that you are getting the appropriate amount of rest and sleep. And I know that that's not popular these days. Everybody wants to push through. You want to be tough. You know, you don't need a day off, whatever. I get it. I'm the same way. However, that is not how your body is designed, and it is very important for you to rest. Now, after you make sure that you are getting plenty of rest, the next most important thing, in my opinion, is to make sure that you hydrate. It is very easy when we get sick to just sit there and we're not putting out a whole bunch of physical activity, so we forget to hydrate. That is a no-no. Keeping your body hydrated keeps everything saturated with water. It keeps all of your systems working the way that they're supposed to. It allows your muscles to heal themselves better. Just everything works better when you're properly hydrated. Case in point, I got my bottle of water with me right now. Hydrating is the way to go. Now, you do not have to pound water like you do when you're sweating a bunch. You are not going to have the same amount of fluids exiting as you do when you're training hard. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is do not lay there and not hydrate all day. You know, aim for, I don't know, a minimum of 60 ounces of water. You know, and it may change depending on the person, but you know, that's kind of a minimum. You know, recommended normal daily water intake is 80 to 90 ounces for most adult males. But you're not going to be putting out the activity. You just want to make sure that you don't get dehydrated. Now, As always with hydration, no matter how much you're drinking, you can really tell how you're doing if you go by your urine color. You want that stuff to be clear to very, very pale yellow. You do not want bright yellow or stinky pee. I don't care how much you're drinking. If you have bright yellow stinky pee, you're either not taking in enough water or you're peeing out a bunch of nutrients that you shouldn't have taken in the first place, probably in a pill form. Now, after hydration, you want to make sure that you're getting your calories in. Once again, you're sick, you don't feel good, you're not going to feel like eating. But you need to make sure that you are eating enough for your body to use those nutrients to repair itself. You're not going to need to eat the same amount as you do when you're training hard, just like hydration. However, it is very good to get some nutrients in. Your body can't work if it doesn't have fuel, right? So some good ideas, usually when you're sick, breads, crackers, simple, bland stuff like that goes down easier. Broth, soups, vegetable soups, beef soups, salty liquids, those are great. Get you electrolytes, it gets you nutrients. They go down easy. Nobody's asking you to pound a double cheeseburger, right? Just make sure that you're getting some calories in so your body can do its job. Lastly, after rest, after hydration, and after caloric intake, you're giving your body fuel, you're doing the basics. You may not be able to do this next one for a few days, depending on the person, depending on the type of sickness. But if, and only if, you have taken care of 1, 2, and 3, and you feel like it, it might be a very good idea to do some light cardiovascular activity. Me personally, I like the rower. I'm sitting on my rear end, I'm getting my heart rate slightly elevated, and that's going to pump blood through my body. It's going to wake my body up. It could help push that sickness out, and it will help my body repair itself a little bit faster. Now, it is very important when you do this, we are talking light activity. If you go hard in the paint and you wear yourself out when your body is already fighting a sickness, you're gonna have a bad time, okay? All we're trying to do is get our body slightly above resting level, raise your heart rate. We're talking, 100, 110, 115 beats per minute. That's it, okay? Give or take 120 or less is a recovery window for your heart rate. You're pumping blood, you are not going to wear yourself out. I recommend keeping your heart rate around this level for 20 or so minutes. That's going to give you enough time to get your blood moving. You're going to work up a very light sweat depending on the temperature of the room you're in, and you're going to get all the benefits of an elevated heart rate and very light activity, and you are not gonna get any of the bad stuff, okay? You do not want to wear yourself out. So, recap, if you are sick, when it comes to training, first and foremost is you need to rest. Rest. Give your body the opportunity to repair itself. while you're resting, make sure that you hydrate, make sure that you eat. You're giving your body the nutrients it needs to repair itself while you rest. And lastly, after you've taken care of the other three, if you feel like it, you can do some very light activity to wake your body up, pump the blood, and hopefully get your body to repair itself just a little bit faster. Okay? As we go into this colder season towards the holidays, keep this in mind. I hope this helped, and if you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out and I'll be more than happy to answer them.